Um, just thought I'd come live and chit chat with y'all. So, yeah, I'm gonna start it off with a few topics. So, one of the topics I wanted to touch on is fathers. So, Father's Day, yeah, we coming in strong. So, Father's Day is this Sunday. Today is Friday. So, I'm just gonna lightly touch on it and I can go in detail maybe in another video. But I thought I would touch on a lot of times, I hear the discussion in society, in the media of absent fathers or deadbeat dads or I don't know, just various things around that nature, around that topic. And I've been thinking about it for a while and I said, okay, what about the present but distant fathers? Now, a lot of people might be like present but distant. Yeah. So I would say emotionally unavailable. So a lot of times when people think of, fathers not being present, people think of, deadbeat dad, them not being around, people not even knowing their fathers. But I say, what about the fathers who were in the household? Or you knew them, you saw them, but they weren't emotionally available. And this video is not to bash fathers. I actually want to big up and shout out all the present fathers out there, all the fathers who have tried, all the fathers who have, trial and error because, parenting, I'm not a parent, but I can only imagine parenting could not be an easy thing. Right? Maybe for some, but typically, parenting is not an easy thing. And so big up to the fathers who try and genuinely are in an active role. But I did want to touch on, since I've seen in society and in the media and even in my everyday life, a lot of people tend to have daddy issues. And so I thought I would touch on the fathers who are present, people may know their fathers, even lived with their fathers, grew up with their fathers, but their fathers were distant or emotionally unavailable. And from my perspective, I would say, sometimes, fathers are there. And, I know people might say mothers as well, but this video is, particularly for fathers. Sometimes fathers are there. And a lot of times, from what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, a lot of times, a lot of fathers might say, they didn't have their dad there to model what a great father would be. Thank you for the heart. Shout out to everyone who's joining the live. Leave your comments down. Have you had an experience with a present but emotionally or otherwise absent father? And a lot of times, sometimes fathers will say, they didn't have that. Or I'll speak from my perspective. I came from a two-parent household. I had my mother, I had my father, working class. My dad was always in the home. He watched us when my mom was at work. He would, when we were younger, bring us out to ride our bikes, things like that. I'm saying us because I have another sibling. Hi, someone said, hey, pretty. Hey, thank you. But at the same time, even though he was present, as I got older, I felt there was a lack of emotional availability. And as I got older, I had to become very honest with myself and say, you know what? Sometimes in life, your parents might love you, your parent might love you, but it may not be the love that you are yearning for. And sometimes it may be because that parent, that's the best that they know how to do based on maybe what they know from the past, based on what they're, have in the future. And people do the best with what they have at this particular time. So, I've had, and many people will say, have discussions with your dad. At least he's present. I don't know my dad. I've seen people in comment sections on social media say, oh, my dad went out for milk and never came back. Now, it's not funny, but it's just, some of the things people say in the comment section be crazy. But, people might say, well, at least you knew your dad. Yeah, at least you know your dad. But sometimes, and I've realized this, and correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes when a parent is present, but they're emotionally unavailable or they're abusive or whatever it may be, I feel sometimes that can be just as bad as a parent that isn't even present. To me, if you're not present, there is that hurt, there's that void, but you're not present. So, apart from the void, that person grows up and they have to deal with that void, but they're not dealing with the effects of what that parent did. Now, when you have a parent in the household and they're emotionally unavailable, they may have been abusive or battled substance use or whatever it may be, now you're dealing with the person being present and they inflicted all this on you, and now you're traumatized and you have to work through that in your growing phases and going into adulthood. So, I thought about it and I said, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't really heard too many people on social media or in society talk about present but distant and emotionally unavailable fathers. And I thought I would touch on that since Father's Day is coming up, and I want to encourage the fathers, new fathers, fathers that are seasoned in the game, up and coming fathers, father figures, uncles, big brothers, whatever it may be, that, if you have the opportunity now, seek the support you may need so that you can support your child or the people who are not under, but that you see over as a uncle or brother figure or father figure. It's very important. I feel a lot of times, not just with fathers, like I said, mothers, but this is particular about fathers since Father's Day is coming up. Check out my Mother's Day video because people might say, you're coming for the fathers. Well, I got the mothers. I got the mothers in a previous video. So yeah, and this is not a bashing. It's an encouraging video that, it's not just deadbeat dads and absent dads that need a bit of adjusting. It's the present dads sometimes that may lack the emotional availability. And for years I used to say to myself, why do I feel, a gap? My dad was in the household. I saw my dad every day. But then I thought about it. I said, I saw my dad every day, but we had a disconnect. Number one, my dad comes from the Caribbean. He's from Jamaica. I was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. Right there, we gotta, thank you for everyone who's giving hearts. Shout out to people in the live. Thank you. So we have a disconnect right there. There's a culture disconnect. So he's trying to grow me in his way. I'm growing up in a totally different world. Like, there's a disconnect. And then, him being a male, me being a female, me growing up into who I am and, becoming a young woman. And then, just so many different things. And sometimes I feel, I'm not blaming, I'm not bashing, but I feel like sometimes, fathers, males may not always be equipped to deal with raising a child in a different country, new age. You're trying to put your culture into them, grow them properly, but at the same time, I'm trying to become my own person. You who are watching, you're trying to become your own person. Your parents are trying to make you have the cultural values, but it just becomes a little bit of a mess sometimes. And I just wanted to encourage that since Father's Day is coming up, I'm encouraging all the fathers, like I said, all the father figures, brothers, uncles, all of that to, again, seek the support that you may need so you can support the up and coming ones and show the love, show the support, show what you never got. And I learned to give my parents, especially my dad, a lot of grace. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to excuse any of the bad behavior, but I've learned to give grace because I thought about it and I said, you know what, as many books, videos, and people out there sharing their experience being parents, nothing prepares you for when you're launched into a situation. It's similar to when you're going to college and you've done all the courses, you've done the practicum, the placements, the job experience, all of that, and then you get your first job and you're like, oh my God, like, you're almost like everything you learn in school goes right out the window. I would only imagine it's similar in parenthood. You have this little human that you have to help develop to become an amazing and hopefully, very well productive person in the world. And that is not an easy thing. So I'm giving grace, but I'm also holding the fathers accountable. And I'm saying, be there, be present, try to be emotionally available. Don't just be present, be emotionally available and foster that child. So that way, what you didn't have and the trauma you had, try not to inflict it on the next generation. Because trust me, there's been so many things in my mid 30s at my big age, and I've had to unlearn from both mother and father. But the video is about father, so had to unlearn because I said no, yeah, no, no, no. So, anyways, we've talked about fathers, and so I'm moving on to the next segment in the video, and I'm gonna talk about Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly because I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I know this is hugely celebrated in the USA, and so I may have an accent, and so people might be like, girl, that's not how you say it. Well, I'm saying it the best I can say it, you know. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I have a Caribbean background, so there's a lot of twanging, a lot of accents, but still saying happy Juneteenth. And, big ups to all my melanated people. Big ups to everyone but my melanated people, right? My sisters, my brothers, my aunties, my uncles, all y'all. I see y'all, love y'all. And it's just a great time, a great, moment to celebrate. And yes, we have a long ways to go. Long, long ways. What we're seeing in, the media, society, politically, in the, justice system, lack of justice in the system. And, there's a long way to go, but we've come a long way. And so big ups to us. Big ups to the melanated people. Love y'all, love me, love us. We have to keep pushing. And, I'm proud of us. A lot of times it is hard being us because I've had many days in the workplace, out in public, where I'm just like, I'm never asked to be, I never asked to be black. I was just born into this. I was born into the whole whirlwind of it all. And, I've experienced, prejudice and racism right here in Toronto, Canada, in this modern time. I have experienced it. I've had people telling me to go back to where I came from. I've had people telling me, basically you're not qualified when I've worked at certain workplaces, which the funny thing is I was more qualified than the people who were telling me I wasn't qualified. Just like, how are you going to tell me I'm not qualified when you yourself ain't qualified? But, I had to, pull up and tell myself, you know what? You gotta hold on. You gotta hold on because what's the saying that Jamaicans usually say? I think they say the fight is not for the something, it's for the swift. Girl, I'm mixing it up. Child, I'm mixing it up. Anyway, they're basically saying that you gotta stay strong. The battle is not an overnight thing. You gotta really, hang on in there, push on. Fight for the rights that you deserve, and just keep it pushing and be proud. Be black and proud. And I am very black and proud, but I'm not gonna lie, it can be very exhausting sometimes. I'm not gonna lie and I'm not gonna front, but I am very proud. I know I come from a strong heritage, a strong bloodline, Caribbean. Both my parents are Jamaican, and I know ties back to Africa, strong bloodline, very resilient people, very creative, very smart, wise, all the things, blessed, very spiritual, very grounded people. And so I love that, and I love my culture. I do. And but like I said, it ain't easy, especially when you're in these places and spaces and you have to learn how to move. But I've learned the ins and outs, and I love it. I love me. And so, like I said, happy Juneteenth, and shout out to, my melanated people, and shout out to all the people in the live and the chat and who are going to watch the replay. And yeah, I'm hoping for bigger, brighter, better, more opportunities and more freedom and more justice for our people. Now, maybe on a lighter note, I'll say it's the weekend, it's Friday, and I figured I would just throw in random topics. because that's what I do, right? As you would see if you read in the description of my channel, I talk about lifestyle, self-care, and just a variety of topics, lifestyle topics. So one thing is this week has been a very annoying week. Hey, shout out to anybody who's in the chat. I see the laughs and I don't know if these laughs are from what I was saying about Juneteenth or I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I've had a bit of a frustrating week because I ordered this computer table from IKEA. Now, IKEA, FedEx, I'm talking to y'all. I ordered this computer table from, I believe it was the very beginning of June, maybe ending of May. I was sent that the table would come by June 17th. There's been a delay at least 3 times. Now, mind you, I've called IKEA, I've called FedEx because I ordered it through IKEA, but FedEx is going to be the carrier that delivers it. FedEx does not have good customer service. I'm going to tell you that straight up right now. Now, I've tried, I believe in the past, to order from them, same mess. So IKEA is the seller and FedEx is the carrier that's going to deliver it. Now, I've talked to IKEA and they've said, it's all on FedEx. And I've talked to FedEx and they're saying, the driver is this and that and that. And I've had the driver call me saying he had the wrong address. And then when I talked to IKEA, they said, oh, the right address has been there all along. And then, a mess. And every day there's a notification, oh, your package is going to be delivered today. And then literally the day will come and the package doesn't come. And I stay home the whole day and I wasted the day. And it's just a mess. To me, listen, stores, we're in 2026. Get it together, right? We had the whole PANA situation in 2020. And I thought that would have launched proper online shopping and delivery processes. We're in 2020. Look how many years has passed. Why are you guys not on top of your stuff? IKEA and FedEx. Customer service needs to be up to par. I called customer service and had 2 representatives basically not properly take my call. One lady, I know she hung up because the call went from me talking to her to, hi, please take this survey. The lady hung up. As soon as she realized, well, this call is going to be complicated, I wasn't dealing with her in a harsh way. I was very professional. I spoke to her in a very soft and mannerable tone. But as soon as she heard that the call, you could tell, you can feel the vibes that she realized this call is going to be complex. And I think it was close to 5. And, typically a lot of people get off at 5. I believe that representative said, you know what, I'm about to get off the clock. I am not taking this complicated call. Click. I got a survey. When I hung up and called back, I got a lady who, as soon as she heard me and heard a little bit of what I was saying, I heard nothing else. I hung up, called back. I got the same representative and she did the same thing. After she heard me and her lady was on the phone playing the mannequin challenge. Like, it was just like, come on. So I just feel like the customer service needs to be up to par with these online retailers. I've paid my money. Like, I want the computer table. And IKEA claims that they can't do anything until after 5 business days of the table not being delivered. Then they'll take action. And one representative said, we might give you a gift card. No, listen, I don't want a gift card. I want my computer table. I don't want a gift card. I want my computer table. Like, I want my computer table and I want proper customer service. I want you guys to be knowledgeable on where my package is, what's going on, because I'm in Toronto, Canada, and when I'm reading the tracking information, it's saying the computer table at 1 minute was in Toronto, then the next minute it's in Quebec. Quebec is like 5+ hours drive away. Why is my table in Quebec? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I spoke to one representative, the one representative that was, well, actually there was 2, but I talked to at least a good 5 representatives. Out of 5, 2 were helpful. One representative was like, okay, maybe, let's give this FedEx driver the benefit of the doubt. I think he misread the address. What I realized with a lot of delivery drivers is they scan through the information. If they can't figure it out right away, broops, your whole package goes to the left. They put it for the next day, the next person, they ain't dealing with it, they move on. Shame on them. It's your job to figure out, okay, what's the proper address? The driver did call me, I explained it to him. He told me, I can speak to another department, and I was like, but what? Like, if I speak to another department, is it going to be an extra charge to have that delivered? He said he doesn't know. He was on the line fumbling, bumbling. Like, I give grace to people because I don't know if it's their first day on the job. I don't know. I don't know their situation, but at the same time, it's the company, FedEx, that's supposed to properly train their drivers to read addresses, to know how to use a GPS, to know how to navigate the road to deliver people's packages. Now, if I don't get my package, y'all listen. IKEA and FedEx, I'm on y'all. I'm on y'all next because I paid my monies and I want my table. Okay, y'all, come on now. Come on now. Don't have customers paying for stuff and y'all ain't delivering. I'm not bashing nobody. I'm just saying that y'all need to step up on your customer service because it ain't good. Both IKEA and FedEx, step it up. Step it up. There's no reason why I should be calling and the people on the other side of the line don't have an answer for me. And my delivery has been canceled 3 times. And I also booked a assembly session for someone to come and assemble the computer table. And now I've had to message that person to say, hey, I haven't gotten the furniture, so we might need to reschedule. And that person's giving me attitude, talking about, I'm not rescheduling. Let me know when your product comes. I'm like, well, I don't know when it's coming. The person's giving me, I'm like, listen, you need to give attitude to IKEA because I bought the product through IKEA, paid for setup assembly through IKEA that booked you. Don't give me the attitude. So yeah, IKEA, FedEx, yeah, y'all in the bad books for me. Y'all need to step up your customer service. Y'all need to be more knowledgeable. Your customer service reps need to be more knowledgeable. They need to be willing to do the work to figure out what's going on. Because I spoke to 2 representatives that were like, oh, you can call FedEx. I was like, I should call FedEx? In my head, I'm like, shouldn't y'all be calling? Like, what y'all get paid to do? Lady's like, oh, I only see what you see on your end. Yeah, I'm not seeing much, so you're not of much help. I'm gonna need to speak to management next because this is crazy. I can't be speaking to numerous representatives that have no answers to my questions. So FedEx, IKEA, step it up. 2026 customer service and your online shopping process is messed. It's messed up. Y'all need to fix it. But yeah, anyways, that's my little rant because that just had me as people who grew up in Toronto, you know, people who grew up in the early 2000s, y'all know the word cheese, right? I was cheesed. I'm still cheesed, but I'm like, you know what? Something's gonna get fixed. It's either that or I'm getting a refund and I'm gonna bring my business elsewhere because there's no reason for me to be shopping with a company that's not delivering. IKEA is a big company. Like, why do you not know where my package is? Why is it jumping from Toronto to Quebec? You know how far Quebec is? Why is my package all the way in Quebec? Like, anyways, moving on. Moving on, y'all. So hopefully y'all had a better week than I had. Because like I said, yeah, a lot of drama, online shopping drama, which is why I'd rather go to the mall. I was really going to buy my package and pick it up at IKEA. But I said, you know what? I would have had to get Uber because I don't have my own actual vehicle. So I would have had to do that. And then the building that I live in has these steep stairs. So I would have to be hauling it up. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing that. I shouldn't have to do all that. It's 2026. That's why you have online shopping. So you online shop and deliver at the convenience. Like, anyways, y'all. A mess. I swear, if another 2020 comes around and this is the same madness, we're all in for a ride because I can only imagine if there's numerous people ordering and this is how they're dealing with customers. Like, come on, y'all. Anyways. So yeah, I just figured I would have came live and chit chat with y'all and, you know, check out my other videos and other lives on the channel. I'm so happy and appreciative for all the people who have been supporting me. It's the weekend and like I said, the week was not that great, but I'm putting myself in a more positive vibe. I had, you know, a little special a little special of a sparkle of a drink because I was like, I gotta lighten up the vibe. It gets tense when you ain't getting the stuff you paid for. Notice I'm still on that, moving on, but still on that. But yeah, what else? There's another thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't even remember. I'm in the, like, I don't want to say lobby, but it's almost like a second lobby kind of area of a hotel building, and I'm sitting here and it's quiet. But you know when it's quiet and you can tell there's people in the corner or the other ends listening. All I can hear is, like, you know, the little movements and stuff of other people, and I'm like, it's weird. As I was gonna do the live in a park, like usually how a lot of all my are, right? I like to take my walks and do my lives, but today was pretty windy here in Toronto, very windy. And the last few days was some crazy rain. Like I'm talking almost like hurricane rain. So I was like, yeah, I can't do a live outside because nobody's gonna hear what I'm saying. So, and I'm not redoing it. So I came to, a hotel. So that way, let me turn the camera around so y'all can see. So that's like part of the lobby part area there. I don't know. I think they had an event, and like I literally just sat myself right here. Like I'm part of the event. I'm just like, well, yay. Yeah, can you guys believe I got this charm bracelet from a dollar store? Now this part of the live is for people who love random chit chats and like just random. I got not the thicker bangles, not the other bangles that are going this way, like the actual charms. Got that from a look, sunglasses. I have like a globe. I have a palm tree. I have like a butterfly, and like if y'all even care, yeah. The dollar store be stepping up. I remember back in the day, the dollar store was looked down upon. Like back when I was in high school in the early 2000s, if you told people you were going to the dollar store, people looked at you like, the dollar store? Girl, you coming up on hard times. But I realized during 2020, during the I don't like to say the name up here because they be quick to snatch up videos. During the panoramic, everybody was hitting up the dollar stores. And here in Toronto, the most popular dollar store is Dollarama. So everybody was hitting up the dollar because a lot of people are looking for hand sanitizers and stuff. Cause remember, hand sanitizers are going like crazy en masse. Toilet paper and paper towel. Like what? Why during a crisis are people looking for toilet paper and paper? Shouldn't y'all be looking for canned goods, like canned food to eat? Like canned food, flashlights and batteries, blankets in case like if it's winter and the heating goes out. Like y'all looking for paper towel and toilet paper? Like but anyways, the dollar store has stepped up, and I don't know about the US, but I know in Canada, Dollarama is a big deal now because they even sell brand name products. They'll sell St. Ives, they'll sell Burt's and Bees. I've even seen them selling Shea Moisture. I said Shea Moisture is up in Dollarama? The dollars Shea Moisture. Now I don't know if that means some of these companies are on hard times, or I don't know. I've watched online where they said sometimes companies, if they have like a change in the labels of the product, or if they're discontinuing something, or if they have like a huge like overproduction, they'll send it to like other retailers and kind of sell it off for cheap and let them, but I was just like, what's Shea Moisture doing in Dollarama? I don't know. And I was thinking of doing like a dollar store haul one day. Tell me if y'all would watch that. Like I was thinking of doing a dollar store like shop with me, products, what's in here, vloggy type thing. But I was like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm kind of getting tired, which is crazy because it's only like 9-ish something. And typically on a Friday night in Toronto, if I was younger, I'd be getting ready to go to the club. And here I am now doing a live and feeling like I want to sleep. The challenges of being in your mid-30s. Anybody else up on here? What's the age of everybody who's on the live or anybody who's going to watch the replay? Drop it in the comment section. Like, how old are some of y'all? I go through my analytics and I've seen where like the average age is like 25 to 34 and like 35 to 45 or something like that. And I obviously have other ranges watching me, but like that's the general range. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And I realized I've had a huge number of females versus males watching me, but I still try to keep my message general that like everybody can watch and enjoy and stuff like that. Somebody said you're stepping up. Sasha something. Sorry, I can't read all of your name. What do you mean by I'm stepping up? Like, okay, Marie said, hi, I'm 24. Hey, okay, you're young. I remember when I was 24. Oh my God, like, I was in college for like the third time. Kevin said, hey, Kevin, how are you? Happy weekend. What are you doing for the weekend? Chilling, drinking, watching people who are streaming like me, random people around the world. Are you subscribed? Y'all subscribe. Y'all need to hype me up. Hype. I don't know if that's an option on some of my videos. I know like some of the larger YouTubers have like the option where you can hype up their videos. Like, y'all hype me up. Show me some love. Like, subscribe, like, comment, share, subscribe. Oh, Kevin said movies. Okay, you're watching movies? Yeah. I haven't watched a good movie in a real long time. What movie are you gonna watch? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you, Kevin. You gave me a reminder. Okay. I'm obsessed. And when I say obsessed, I'm not playing. I'm obsessed with like those forensic shows. Like I love watching Forensic File. And I know Forensic File is like a throwback, but it's kind of similar to like your oh my god, what is this show we used to watch when I was in high school? CSI. CSI is more a newer version, more, CSI, Forensic Files. I wouldn't say First 48 because I've never really sat and watched that. But like those documentaries, cold case files. I was watching a cold case file this week about a guy. I believe his name is Chris. I might be butchering this man's name, but Chris Thompson. I'm so sorry. But anyhow, he got a job working with this gentleman who did like land surveying. And it was, I would say, private company. So there was one guy who was the manager or whatever he called himself, another worker, in Christopher. And so supposedly, allegedly, and I'm going to say allegedly for legal purposes because, allegedly, they all went out to this, I don't want to say countryside, but a less populated area to do land surveying. And meanwhile, they were using their devices and things of that nature. Supposedly, allegedly, they said Christopher just ran off and just took off into like the bushes. And, some of the workers said they took off with him, but he disappeared. And from that day forward, they never saw him again. And that was in like 2002. Now, when the incident happened, they said that the manager and another worker got lawyers, and another guy, well, I don't know, I guess he was just in the mix. And to this day, they can't figure out like what happened. Like he ran off, he disappeared, and what? Like, I don't know, like watching these cold case shows just make me feel so like nervous and scared. I'm like, it's just weird that you could be living like he was living his normal life, working that day, supposedly whatever happened, and that's it. Like nobody knows where you went. Like no, same for these cases where people are trafficked. I don't want to say all the words because we're on YouTube and YouTube sensitive, but people who are transported around the world, and it's just people who are on the black market for like organ harvesting. Like I don't know. Like I just watching those shows make me very like nervous. I'm like, it's crazy. You could be living your normal life and then somebody just snatches you up. And then a lot of these people, I don't believe some of them are on earth. Get the drift with me, y'all. Don't let me say all the words. I don't believe all these people are not present with us on earth. I feel like a lot of these people are alive. They're being used as workers, as and being on the black market for their if you watch these shows, you know what I'm saying. With all the it's just sad. Like when I watch it, like I'm always feeling like just like somebody's been missing from 2002 and they don't know where he is. And like I don't know. Like just talking about it right now, like I'm literally kind of shaking. Like I don't know if you realize the camera's like it's just crazy. Like I don't know. And I'm not a religious person. Like I grew up going to church, like Christian Seventh-day Adventist church, but I'm not currently like religious, but I do believe in like God and like a higher power. And like I always pray. Like I remember when my grandma used to be alive, on my mom's side, she used to always say, pray and ask God to protect you from all danger, seen and unseen, spiritual and supernatural. that used to spook me out. I'm like, supernatural? She's like, girl, because this world is not all that it seems. And like my grandma used to always tell me, like, not everybody that you see that's walking amongst you are real people. I was like, okay, grandma, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. She was like, seriously, like, not everybody that's with us is really like really with us. There's a lot of demons. There's a lot of like spiritually compromised people. There's a lot of like, and I've been watching, there's this one girl's channel I've been watching on YouTube. Like, she talks a lot about like people who are doing a lot of like magic, black magic, a lot of like things of that nature. And people think these things are very far-fetched and it's not real, but yeah. I'm not saying I'll believe in it, but I would just say that like I believe that the world is a lot more than what meets the human eyes. And as much as I may not be spiritual, I still do believe in God, and I'd say stay prayed up or stay covered in what you believe in to be a positive, covering, protective being, because the world is a scary place. It really is. And sorry, I just pray for protection, for peace, and for God to just watch over me. So yeah, crazy, y'all, crazy. But yeah, like I said, I'm obsessed. Like once I start watching those forensic shows, I'm on. Like I'll be watching them back to back, back to back. That's just how I am. Like once I'm into something, it could even be finance. It could even be watching something to do with cooking. Like if I watch one video, I'm watching 10. Like I don't know why I'm like that, but yeah, no, those forensic shows, those mystery shows, those missing person shows, like, it's creepy, but I like to watch them because it keeps you aware. It keeps you out of the fairy tale of everyday life. Because I think people get so like trapped in the hustle and the bustle of everyday life that people don't really take the time to realize like every second that goes by, somebody's going missing. Every second that goes by, somebody's being trafficked. It's scary. So let's pray for everybody. Wishing all the best. And yeah, on a lighter note, hopefully everybody has a good weekend. And Kevin said he liked. Thank you. And I see popcorn emojis in the chat. So yeah, but hopefully y'all have a great weekend. And if y'all are just joining or whatever, catch the replay, because you guys are gonna be wondering what's she talking about. Why is she talking about forensic? Catch the replay, and thank you so much for all who will like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know any topic suggestions y'all have, because I want to start, like, I was gonna actually make the live where I invited anybody to come on, but I was like, I didn't like do that prior, so I don't know who would have wanted to join. So one of these days, I want y'all to join me on live, like present your actual face and join me, and we can chit chat and like chop it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyways, hope y'all have a good weekend. Catch the replay, and y'all stay safe, stay prayed up, and stay unique. All right, y'all. Now, hopefully I keep this live up, because if I watch a replay and it's not good, child, I'm taking it down. But anyways, take care, y'all. Bye.